How beautiful. It's been a while since I've done a live feed video here, and I'm in the middle of the Loyalhanna Gorge, so I figured what more fitting time to do this than right now. There's a nice fish. Nice big bass just went by me. I know the camera didn't catch it, but a smallmouth. This is one spot on a hot day like today, and you could tell it's hot. It's up in the 90s. My father and I would come to this one spot. It's right here. And what you would do is you would bring a six-pack with you, sit there, a couple lounge chairs, as silly as it seems, and it was like free air conditioning, and we catch our limit and trout, and we'd have a good time. I'm seeing some native trout here right now. But I wanted to get cooled off a bit. And anyhow, in any case, Loyalhanna is my Loyalhanna song. I haven't been out to this rock in at least 20 years. You can see these rocks are very slippery to walk on. I like these currents because you get to see, doing some scouting here on what's good for fly fishing and what's not. Right now we're not dealing with a whole lot of great fly fishing at the moment. I don't get an opportunity very often to just get the scale of the gorge. This is one of the real sharp turns on the gorge where it cut through Chestnut Ridge, and it's pretty high. I've actually been, you can see a little bit more. See that point up there? I've actually been from that ridge the whole way up across here on this part of the gorge where the stream comes in. And way up on the top of here is where the place known as Valerie Falls is. So if you want to find it on the map, I'll let you do a little bit of searching. This stream comes down through this vast canyon of huge massive boulders and waterfalls, and it's gorgeous, very gorgeous. There's a trout right there and under that rock. They're in here. I'm just not seriously fishing for them today. So when you're fishing, one thing you want to look for, look for areas like this. The video won't capture it, but the water's coming down the stream, hits a big rock like this. You can see the flow of the water is going, follow the bubbles that way. So you have two really good spots to fish for trout. One is at the headwater here. You can float it down around, and any trout that are hiding back under here or just going in the current, they're going to be looking for something to eat. Another good spot is at the back here. See where the water pools up slightly, and there's that real calm area. Now in higher water, if the stream is moving more quickly, a lot of your trout would wait right beyond there because they're going to wait for the food to come down around this rock and just lay in there. So if you're fly fishing, you don't want to throw your line right about here, right at that edge of that rock, and let it loop around. Maybe throw a fly in there. Work your way down. This is the lowest I've seen the Loyalhanna in at least, oh my god, I think this summer they built the room on. It was in the late 90s, so past few years have been very wet, a lot of damp, moldy. It's just, you didn't have a chance to use the wet flies you would normally use this time of year. That's ideal for fly fishing right there. So at the top of this ridge, right up there, is, you can see, I don't know if you can see, trees drop in elevation. There's like a lip there. Right at that lip was where I was at earlier in the year, where I saw that rock face and the big boulders and did some tracking up through there. And it's a sharp turn, so it's a massive rock face, and from there it moves backwards. What that really is, when these mountains were forming, they were massive rivers here that came down from mountains that sat in that direction, which is east towards Bedford. And where Bedford is, at the Allegheny front, which is the first of these three ridges, is where two continents collided: the African continent and the North American continent. And the European continent was pushed off. So the rift that it caused was like a mountains the size of the Himalayas. And you can go out to Utah to where's the trout just jumped? You go out to Utah to the petrified forest and do mineral sampling on those petrified pieces of wood, and the mineral compounds come from this area. So what happened over these big rivers, and as the two continents collided, these ridges slowly formed like ripples, these mountain ripples, and they weren't always in the same spot, but the water found a path of least resistance and slowly cut through this mountain like a saw blade. And you can see the power of water right here with this rock. A very slow-moving thing. And you can see on the tops of those ridges where the river there's actually a riverbed, there's actually a rock face, and it's actually parts of the original mountain that was cut through. Of course, over the years, there were hundreds of feet more rock on top of that because it's worn down. But to write the book, Loyalhanna song, a Loyalhanna song, with the poetry in it, I wanted to capture just why I wrote it. You know, this is a very peaceful river that people like George Washington and all those people that came through at Fort Ligonier, back to 15,000 years of Native American settlement, back to 50 million years of mountain building. All this is history. Very peaceful and beautiful.